Today's lecture I am going to explain a novel Kanthapura. This novel is written by Raja Rao, which is written in 1938. This is the first novel written by Raja Rao, and this novel is the first major Indian novel in English literature. Some critics think that this novel is as a Gandhian novel written by Raja Rao. Some think that Kanthapura is a political novel. Kanthapura is the enchanting story of how the independent movement becomes a tangible reality in a tiny and secluded village in South India named Kanthapura. That's why some critics thinks that Kanthapura as a novel of village. This novel Kanthapura, which is written in 1938, is an account of the impact of Gandhiji's teachings of non-violent resistance against the Britishers. Kanthapura is one of the finest novels to come out of mid 20th century India. It is the story of how Gandhiji's struggle for independence from the British came to a typical village, Kanthapura, in South India. That's why this is a novel about a village, Kanthapura. That's why the title of this novel is Kanthapura. Now I would like to introduce you the novelist. Raja Rao was the most famous Indian English writer, was born on 8th November 1908 at Hassan in Mysore, now in Karnataka. And he died on July 8, 2006 at Austin, Texas, United States. Raja Rao was the author among the most significant Indian novelists writing in English during the middle decades of the 20th century. Raja Rao, renowned an nationally renowned novelist who was among the first major Indian writers to cajole the English language into conveying the distinctive cadences of his native country, and he died on July 8 at his home in Austin, Texas, when he was 97. Raja Rao's novel Kanthapura is one of the finest novels to come out of mid 20th century India. It is the story of how Gandhiji's struggle for independence from the British came to a typical village, Kanthapura, in South India. Now I would like to introduce you the characters in the novel. The first major character, Murthy. Murthy is a young Brahmin, belongs to the high social caste in India, who has returned to his village, Kanthapura. He is heavily inspired by the Mahatma Gandhiji's nationalist movement to liberate India. He is showered with love and respect by the people of Kanthapura, who decides to follow him unflinchingly. In the novel, he is referred to he is showered with love and respect by the people of Kanthapura, who decide to follow him unflinchingly in the novel. He is referred to as the small mountain, while Mahatma Gandhi is the big mountain. He manages to establish the Congress party in adherence to Gandhian values in Kanthapura. That's why here in this novel Murthy played an important role. Now I would like to introduce you the second one character, Bhatta. Bhatta is the chief priest of Kanthapura. He exploits the villagers and has nothing to do with the Gandhian philosophy. He goes on to oppose Murthy in establishing the Congress party. Bhatta is an indirect agent of the British government. He can be perceived as one of the antagonists of the novel. Now, I would like to introduce you the next one character, Patel Ranjegowda. Uh, Officially, Patel Ranjegowda is the primary executive officer of Kanthapura village. However, he acts as the mayor of the entire village. He was a strong and formidable person in this novel. Now, next one character, Rangamma. Rangamma is a widely respected woman who can read and write. She is a childless widow, but she does not let it bring her down. She is respected because of her strong resolution and high aspirations. She rejects Bhatta's religious dictatorship in favor of Gandhian Murthy. She educates and leads the women of Kanthapura to form a non-violent resistance group called Savage. In this way, Rangamma also played an important role in this novel. Now, I introduce you the next one character, Bade Khan. Bade Khan is a Muslim policeman who has recently arrived in Kanthapura. He finds lodging in Skeffington Coffee Estate. He is an agent of the British government and is hostile towards all forms of protests. Bade Khan goes on to viciously beat Murthy when he tries to meet the coffee estate workers. The next one character I would like to introduce you, Kamlamma. Kamlamma is the sister of Rangamma. She stands in stark contrast to the values exhibited by Rangamma. She rejects her sister's conversion to the Gandhian lifestyle. The only concern on her mind is to somehow remarry her widowed daughter Ratna. Now, I would like to introduce you the next one character, Ratna. Ratna is the 15-year-old daughter of Kamlamma. However, she has more in common with her aunt Rangamma. She, too, is inspired by the Gandhian philosophy. Despite being a widow, she does not care for traditional social propriety. She leads the Savage after Rangamma's imprisonment. In this way, I introduce you some of the important characters in this novel. Next, in detail, I would like to explain the novel Kanthapura is about a village novel. The entire novel is full of actions and all that actions is centered around Murthy. He forms village congress committee. He persuades the women of the village to join the struggle. In chapter number 2, Murthy says to Najamma, "Our country is being bled to death by foreigners. We have to protect our mother." This quotation is mentioned on the page number 14 of this novel. He encourages the villagers to join village congress smithy and give up using foreign clothes. Then on page number 16, there is one of the important quote which is also by the Murthy, says to Najamma, "Sister, the Congress is giving away free spinning wheels. Will you spin, sister?" "And why should the Congress give it free?" "Because millions and millions of yards of foreign cloth came to this country, and everything foreigner makes us poor and pollutes us. He has a vision in which Mahatma Gandhi leads him from darkness to enlightenment. Gandhiji instructed him to lead a life of truth and to discard foreign clothes, foreign books, and everything foreign. Thus, Murthy envisions Gandhiji as mystical Rama figure who is to save Sita, which is a symbol of India, from the clutches of Ravana. Ravana is the symbol of Britishers and finds himself in the role of Hanumana. Now, the next one point I am going to clear. An understanding of Raja Rao's art is enchanted by a contextualization of his novels. Although Rao admitted to several Western influences, his work is best understood as a part of Indian tradition. Raja Rao regarded literature as a sadhana or spiritual discipline for him. Writing was a consequence of his metaphysical life. His novels essentially represent a quest for the absolute. The novel thus becomes the chronicle of this archetypal search. Formerly, all of his first four novels share certain features. The plot of this novel is de-emphasized. The narrative is generally subjective, very idiosyncratic, and episodic. The progression of the narrative is not linear but circular in the Puranic manner of storytelling, which Raja Rao adapts to the form of the Western novel. There are digressions, stories within stories, songs, philosophical disquisitions, debates, and essays. Characters are also frequently symbolic figures, which I already mentioned. For example, Murthy stands for Hanumana, Britisher stands for Ravana, and Gandhi stands for Rama, and Sita, which stands for India. In this way, characters are also played the role of symbolic figures. The motivations for their actions might seem puzzling or insufficient. Finally, because the narration is subjective, the language of the narrator also tends to be unique, reflecting the narrator's peculiarities, his or her social, regional, and philosophical make. Now, I would like to explain the point. This story, the Kanthapura, is the story of a small village. Kanthapura is the story of how a small, sleepy South Indian village, which is caught in the whirlpool of the Indian freedom struggle and comes to be completely destroyed. In the foreword, Raja Rao himself indicates that the novel is a kind of Sthal Purana or legendary history, which every village in India seems to have. These local Sthal Puranas are modeled on the ancient Indian Puranas, those compendia of story, fable, myth, religion, philosophy, and politics, among which are the Upapuranas, which describe holy places and the legends associated with them. In this way, here in Kanthapura, the features of Kanthapura are keeping with the tradition of Sthal Puranas. The detailed description of the village at the opening of the novel is written in the manner of a Sthal Purana, wherein the divine origin of or association of a place is established. Now, I would like to explain Kenchamma, the Grama Devata, as called as a village deity. The village Kanthapura is presided over by goddess Kenchamma, the Grama Devta or the village deity, and the novel provides a legend explaining her presence there, recalling several similar legends found in the Puranas. Like the like the place gods of the Puranas, Kenchamma operates within her jurisdiction, where she is responsible for rains, harvest, and well-being of the villagers. Kenchamma cannot extend her protection to other villagers or villages or to the outsiders. The village deity Kenchamma thus symbolizes local concerns such as famine, cholera, cattle diseases, and poor harvest, which may little to do with the world outside the village. Like Kenchamma, the river Himavati also has a special significance in the novel and recalls passages describing famous rivers in the Puranas, such as the description of the river Narmada in Matsya Purana and the Agni Purana. Similarly, Kanthapura shares certain narrative techniques with the Puranas. The story is told rapidly, all in one breath, it would seem, and the style reflects the oral heritage also evident in the Puranas. Like the Puranas, which are digressive and episodic, Kanthapura contains digressions such as Pariha Siddhya's exposition on serpent lore. The Puranas contain detailed poetic descriptions of nature. Similarly, Kanthapura has several descriptive passages that are so evocative and unified as to be prose poems in themselves. Examples are the coming of Karthik, that is autumn, daybreak over the ghats, and the advent of the rains. Finally, the narration of Kanthapura has a simplicity and lack of self consciousness reminiscent of the Puranas and quite different from the narrative sophistication of contemporary Western novelists such as Virginia Woolf or James Joyce. Kanthapura, Kanthapura is also imbued with a religious spirit akin to to that of the Puranas. The epigraph of the novel The epigraph of the novel, taken from the sacred Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, is the famous explanation of the Hindu notion of incarnation. Whensoever there is a misery and ignorance, I come. The doctrine of incarnation is also central to the Puranas, most of which are descriptive accounts of the avatars of Vishnu. The avatar in Kanthapura is Gandhi, whose shadow looms over the whole book, although he is himself not a character. Incarnation, however, is not restricted to one great soul, Gandhi, but extends into Kanthapura itself, where Murthy, who leads the revolt, is the local manifestation of Gandhi and by implication of truth. Although the form of Kanthapura is closely modeled on that of the Sthala Purana, its style is uniquely experimental. Rao's effort is to capture the flavor and nuance of South Indian rural dialogues in English. He succeeds in this through a variety of stylistic devices. The story is told by Achakka. Achakka, who is the narrator of the story. She is an old Brahman widow, a garrulous, gossipy storyteller. The sentences are long, frequently running into paragraphs. Such long sentences consist of several short sentences joined by conjunctions usually used of and and commas. The effect is of breathless, rapid talking. The sentence structure is manipulated by syntactic and rhythmic effect. As in the first sentence of the novel, our village, I don't think you have ever heard about it. Kanthapura is its name, and it is in the province of Kara. Repetition is another favorite device used to enhance the colloquial flavor of the narrative. In addition to these techniques, translation from Kannada is repeatedly used. Nicknames such as Waterfall Venkamma, Nose Scratching Najamma, Corner House Murthy are translated. More important, Kannada idioms and expressions are rendered into English. You are a traitor to your salt givers. The government campaign, nobody will believe such a crow and sparrow story, and so on. Thus, the total effect is the transmutation into English of the total ethos of another culture. Kanthapura, with its Canadized English, anticipates the lofty Sanskritized style of the serpent and the rope, which stylistically is the Raja Rao's highest achievement. Thus, Kanthapura is really a novel about a village rather than about a single individual. Nevertheless, Murthy, the protagonist of the villagers' struggle against the government, is a prototypal Rao hero. Murthy is the leader of a political uprising, but for him, as for Gandhi, whom he follows, politics provides a way of life indistinguishable from a spiritual quest. In fact, for Murthy, action is the way to the absolute. In Gandhi, he finds what is right action. Thus, for him, becoming a Gandhi man is a deep spiritual experience that is appropriately characterized by the narrator as a conversion. At the culmination of this conversion is Shankaracharya's static chant, Sivoham, Sivoham, I am Siva, I am Siva, Siva am I, meaning that Murthy experiences blissful union with the Absolute. Indeed, the chant, which epitomizes the ancient Indian philosophical school of Advaita or unqualified non dualism, is found in all Raja Rao's novels as a symbol of the spiritual goal of his protagonist, Murthy, the man of action. Thus, practices Karma Yoga, the path of action, one of the ways of reaching the Absolute as enunciated in the Bhagavad Gita. Thus, this novel called as a novel of village written by Raja Rao. Thank you.